Yo! What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Man, so you know what? I just decided let's just go ahead and take a little gander at Farming Simulator 22. And here's the thing, I already know it's almost like I can read y'all's minds that, hey, you guys are thinking that I've been farming like my entire life and I know absolutely everything there is to know about farming. Well, here's the thing, I'm actually sorry to disappoint everyone. Yeah, I know nothing about farming and I pretty much learned everything from this game. So, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I'm a farming expert now. First things first, you know what, it's actually a fun game. Hey, if you are really into simulator games, if you are very into like realistic games, man, this one is gonna be for you because this is such a stinking realistic game that you will literally actually feel like you're a farmer, right? To really kind of see that farm grow and to see you doing a really good yield on some crops and making some money off that. Like once you actually kind of see the kind of love of the labor and like the time that you put into it, kind of crazy because like I said, I know nothing about farming at all, but I actually enjoyed it. Something that I just found, really interesting was just the, educational part of this game. I was like, man, I've learned so many different terms, and here's the thing, I don't even think I can remember what every single one of them still even mean now. I'm still kind of learning them as I'm playing more and more, but I didn't know what, a power harrow was, right? I didn't know that there was different, technologies for, grapes and for sugarcane and for cotton. Or hey, I never knew that a harvester had a pipe in and a pipe out option, and that was the actual, term for it. And hey, trust me, I know those are all, probably very similar and a lot of people may already know those, but you know what? For not ever being in that scene or not ever being a farmer or, really kind of living that life or living that lifestyle, I was like, oh shoot, man. Yeah, well, there we go. And just all the different types of equipment and honestly, just like the process of farming, right? I learned how to yield a crop on a field and just, that process from plowing and then doing the rocks and then cultivating and then seeding and then fertilizing and then weeding and then fertilizing again and then watching it grow and waiting 2 or 3, 4 months for it to grow and then finally getting the harvest and then doing that whole process again. And sometimes it would need lime and then other times it would need, something else. So man, it's just like, there's actually a really in-depth process that I was just kind of like blown away, and I didn't just learn it all in a day. Like it actually took me a little while. Obviously, man, I was kind of on some servers with some friends and stuff like that, so that kind of helped a little bit as well. Okay, so another thing that I thought was actually pretty interesting with this game is the actually strategy. Who would have thought there'd be strategy to a farming game? Man, anything from keeping up with finances to keeping up with contract jobs to keeping up with, hey, where are you gonna lose some money this month? Or how are you gaining money this month? Or what kind of crop that needs to be planted during this season or during this time of the month, because that's a whole new aspect of the game is seasons, where now you have snow and you have a spring and a fall and a winter. What needs to be planted and what's going to bring you the best yield for the harvest during this 2 or 3 month period of time. Well, also when do you actually need to plant that, because you have to plant and start seeding and start planting ahead 3 or 4 months. Something that you may have to plant in the spring isn't going to give you a good yield or something like that until like October, November, right? Or September. So man, there's a lot more strategy to it than heck I think what I ever realized. And man, that just brings another thing to strategy is animals. And guys, that's just a whole brand new like crazy process that I'm still learning. I've got some chickens, but I know cows and sheep and all that stuff, just kind of a different ball game. And you have bees, and man, like you can actually make a really good amount of money off of animals. So like that's just one more extra thing, that kind of goes into strategy. And hey, it helps you, how are you gonna survive and how are you gonna make it this month? And hey, well, you need a lot more to that to survive, because you have the maintenance cost and, buying tractors and leveling up. And man, see guys, there's just so much more to it. If you're a big fan of just deep games that, hey, you can just keep going and going and going, dude, like this is the game for you. I would definitely recommend, checking it out. Yeah, so another aspect of this game that I thought was pretty cool is the build mode. That's where you buy chicken pens, your sheds, your production houses, your farmhouse, your lights, all that. I mean, literally, you can just buy a piece of land and just plow it all and just build it however you want to build it. If you want to put concrete here or grass there or whatever, man, there's so many different options. Obviously, do not have time in this video to go over all those, but the build mode is like pretty sweet, actually. And I definitely give them, you know, a golf clap. for, yeah, maybe just making a freaking killer mode, man. Okay, so one more thing, which is actually kind of cool with this game, are the mods. Where this game is definitely more of a PC background, even though I'm playing it on console, and man, like you can definitely tell because just some of the options and like some of the buttons are kind of like, that doesn't make sense, you know, but it definitely makes sense on PC. But man, you know, either way, it's like totally cool because it actually kind of works out because you can get the mods for the console as well. I kind of love how that they have done that because man, that just kind of opens the door to so many different options, and you can kind of get some like better equipment or some newer equipment. So man, hey, I just kind of really give them a thumbs up for incorporating that type of style and that type of gameplay into their game. Okay, so just a few things. Obviously, hey, I know it's a brand new game, and you know they're doing updates, and I'm sure they'll smooth some of these little small stuff out. Because man, there's quite a few glitches going on. How the AI workers would react. You know, you would have them set to this destination, or you'd have them to, you know, plow this field, or to, you know, do whatever. And you know, based off some of the conversations that I've had with some other people, Farming Simulator 2019 didn't really have a whole bunch of glitching issues. Hopefully, hey, the next update, something like that, will always be smooth sailing from now on. Alrighty, well, I think that is gonna wrap up this video. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking it out, and man, I will see you on the next one. All right,